Hello, welcome back to 10 at 10. My name is Michael Ramage. I'm the director of the Cyber Education Research Center here at Murray State University, and welcome back to 10 at 10. 10 at 10 is brought to you through a partnership between Murray State University, Sprocket, West Kentucky, and KY Innovation. And welcome back to episode 282, even number episodes. So we are talking about the news of the last few weeks, specifically looking at what is going on in the world that we can learn from to make our organizations, make our families, make ourselves a little bit safer in cyberspace. So let's just go ahead and dig into it. So, first story I want to talk about is the Pope. I don't know if I ever thought I would talk about Pope Leo on 10 at 10, but here we are. Uh, a week before last, the Pope put out a statement. There's a term for it, but um, what the reason I want to bring it up is because in his statement he talked about AI, and while yes, I mean the headline you can read it. Pope Leo says AI must be disarmed in his first major teaching. Yes, he talked about AI. He used the word disarmed, but maybe he was trying to use, you know, deliberately choosing words to attract attention, and he did. He's the Pope, of course he did. But what I want to talk about is the fact that the Pope is talking about tech, and his point is that if we're not careful, then we're going to exploit people across the world, across the globe, in ways that we have seen throughout history, and so now we're going to have what he called new digital slaveries, um, and yes, again, I get that this might be extreme wording, but at the same time, there is this evolution of tech, of AI, and the question is, how do you humanize it? How do you make sure that we're moving together as a society together moving forward? What is our role as technology professionals? What is our role as citizens, as humans? And I don't have the answer, but I find it really interesting that we're now officially to the point where the Pope is weighing in on technology issues of the day. So anyway, wanted to bring that. As it relates to AI, I actually find this really interesting. Is that this article talks about AI? AI is still getting things wrong, but it is more confident than ever. Um, here's the reality. AI is better today than it was yesterday, and it was better yesterday than the day before, but it's also not as good as it's going to be tomorrow. It is continuing to improve. It's continuing to get better as there's more research, as there's more input going into it, and refining of the models and the way that they work. The better that AI is going to get. But we believe that it is getting better and better. So we are not fact checking as much as we were. It is on us to make sure that the information is correct. It is, more people are trusting what comes out of the AI output without checking, without verifying, without making sure that what is coming out is correct. And it is a very dangerous road if we're not going to validate the output. We've got to be careful. It still hallucinates. It's still, and hallucinating is the term we've talked about when AI makes up something that is not correct, that is not true, trying to come up with something that it thinks you're wanting. It's still doing that. It's still hallucinating, and there can be very costly mistakes. So we have to be very careful about what it is that we're asking it to do, and we've got to be very careful at what we do with the results. We need to make sure that it is correct before we actually run with with that information. So anyway, those two I think are really interesting and things that we need to keep our eye out for. Next, as many of you know, World Cup is coming up here in America. It's based. It's going to be based this year in North America, Mexico, and the U.S. Tickets are hard to come by. Tickets are really expensive. Everybody's trying to find a ticket. Some of the venues, the ticket costs for the big games are ridiculously expensive. And when things are expensive and when there's a huge demand and when there is opportunity, the bad guys will strike. And you saw this a few years ago with the Taylor Swift concert tickets. And now we're seeing this with FIFA World Cup ticket sales. There are a ton of fraudulent domains out there. This article says since August 25, there have been over 4,000 fraudulent domains taken registered. Um, and some small portion of those are still running. There have been tickets sold to victims, fake tickets, to be clear, sold to some 47,000 victims. Um, and some of these tickets are going for as up to $10,000 that are being sold to these folks. Be careful. And yes, we're talking about the World Cup, but this is going to apply to any area, any domain. If there is a demand, matter of fact, if you're wanting something, that means there's a demand. Be careful and verify that you're going to a reputable site. Verify if you're on Facebook Marketplace buying a car that car really exists. Go lay your eyes on it. Go touch it. Go see it. Go make sure it's there before you pay money for something that doesn't exist. Ticket sales are a little harder. I get that. I will grant that. But there's a lot of fake ticket sales out there. If there's a deal that sounds too good to be true, as I've always said, then it may not be true. All right. Let me move on because I'm going to try to get, well, I don't know if we'll have time to get through two more, but we're going to try to. First of all, FBI warns that hackers are turning up to offices and posing as IT support. It is hard sometimes to break in to a computer system over the internet. If you can lay hands on, if you can touch a server, you can own it. It is much easier. And there are some really good social engineers. There are some really good ways to break into an organization, and people are really good at it, unfortunately. Um, so if somebody shows up saying they're part of IT support, if somebody shows up saying that they need to do something in your system, verify it. Don't trust that if they tell you, hey, you know, Tommy in IT told me to stop by, call Tommy. Don't let them say that, Tommy's at lunch. It doesn't matter. If you can't verify through some other means, not including the person in front of you, you don't let them in. This is this approach, we have these great AI defense systems, these advanced systems, but this approach is the tried and true way of breaking into systems for a long, long time. Breaking into any building and facility for many, many decades. So be careful. All right, I'm just going to touch on this last one because I'm running out of time, but I think it's worth hitting on for just a second. Um, FBI has also put us on high alert as there are now new hacking tools where you can break into your email without using a password. Um, if you are using two-factor authentication, you put in a password and then it's going to send you a verification. There's a way to get around the password. It'll just send the verification to you, and you have to accept it. You have to put in the code. You have to, whatever it is. But here's the catch: is that there's so many people that are getting fatigue of that second step that they're just accepting. Oh yeah, that's probably that one thing, and they're not really paying attention. You have to pay attention. Don't ever let your guard down. You just can't let your guard down. If there's a reason that you're getting that push, that request for approval, then fine. If not, if you can't remember it, if you don't know why, then you need to question it. You need to make sure that it is truly doing what it needs to do and it's not somebody trying to scam you. Anyway, there's a lot more to this, but I am out of time. So I will leave it there. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I always appreciate your questions, your feedback, your comments. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. And I will see you next week back here on 10 to 10. Thank you. Bye.